A unique, culturally isolated Acadian community in the woods along the upper St. John River developed during the early 19th century as the timber trade moved west into previously uninhabited areas. Far from major population centers, this community relied on the untouched white pine forests and limited agriculture to grow in a borderless patch of wilderness disputed between the British Empire and the United States. Acadian settlement along the St. John in the 1820s and 1830s differed greatly from their longer established eastern neighbors. The inland Acadians, who referred to themselves as Brayons, were never expelled by the British, had little contact with Quebec or the Maritimes, and did not drain wetlands to farm. Their interaction with outside powers was limited to trade along the river. White pine and later excess produce went south, and farming implements and metal tools came north. Policing was limited to occasional forays by Holton militia into the wilderness, and those actions rarely reached beyond the Aroostook. Their timber operations along the St. John in what is now Aroostook County, Maine, and Madawaska County, New Brunswick, developed into small farms dependent on their river frontage as land was cleared. White pine, in great demand in both St. John and Portland for ship construction, was plentiful and tall in this previously empty border region. It was moved untaxed down the St. John and used primarily for ship construction. While the Brayons were not the only settlers on the last eastern frontier, Scots, Mainers, New Brunswickers, and Irishmen also followed the lumber to the St. John and Aroostook rivers. They were the most culturally isolated. Concentrated on the northeast bank of the St. John, few migrated to the warmer and more agriculturally stable Aroostook. Unlike Quebecois seigneurs and their centrally organized villages, Brayon communities were haphazard and had no official leaders and few churches. 1840 Maine census results from the disputed area show few very common names, including Martin, Michaud, Thibodeau, and Villet. These names indicate little beyond Catholic fecundity, and there were no true townships or even hamlets beyond Holden, a decidedly American town. The lumbermen, mill owners, and their descendants, deciding to stay on an isolated, agriculturally risky area instead of migrating east or south to fertile farmlands after the timber was played out, and to continue to live along the upper St. John after a border was drawn arbitrarily through it, indicates a unique frontier culture. More like American settlers far to the west than their nearby francophone colonies, the inland Acadians cleared land and settled it generation after generation without outside encouragement.